Well, we're in our Enduring 217 again, flying in historical mode. I just found out a new thing that I've not known before. I don't know if anyone actually knows this, but probably. And maybe I'm just a noob at this, but since I finally, I keybinded the air brake since I got my F-86 to my mouse. Well, guess what? There's an air brake on the Dornier 217. Medium bomber with an air brake. So you can get these bombing runs in, and actually when you're trying to not lose speed, you can gain speed, and when you want to try to slow down a little bit so you can finesse that bomb in, well, guess what? You just extend that air brake, and boom. Yeah, that wasn't a boom since I missed twice, but it makes it a little bit easier for controlling, especially when you're going by really fast at 400 kilometers an hour. And get that bombing run in. So, again, I don't know if I just found this out and I'm late to the show, but I'm relatively excited to have a bomber with an air brake. It's just very interesting. I can slow down. I mean, it can also provide another defense for against fighters, especially since you're on this tank line. And if you're on this tank line, you know sometimes that guys will get on your butt, and if you can just retract that or extend that air brake, you're talking about a hell of an advantage. Especially since if the guy's like 0.2 off your butt, you extend that air brake, you deploy your landing flaps, you will slow down so much that he will just shoot you by. And then you might have a chance with that 20mm frontal cannon in the E2 to make some revenge. So, not saying it's the most amazing thing ever, but I gotta say I'm relatively enjoying the idea of an air brake on a bomber. So it looks like we have pretty much free roam down here, for now, knock on wood. It might quickly end, you never know. We're at 13 ground kills, 14 ground kills, 15 ground kills. Now the fighters are coming down, but they all have my fighters on them as well, or friendly fighters, to say correctly. Make sure we don't blow off our wing again. We got a Spitfire coming at a click ahead of me. He looks like he's going after someone else though. So, 8 more bombs. We got some tanks in front of us, obviously. We're gonna have to make another pass back. So, hopefully this AA doesn't shoot me down in the meantime. I've had some bad luck with the AI, AAA, fucking me up when I don't need it to fuck me up. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to stay below that 200 mark. It seems to make a hell of a difference. Yeah, got the AA out. Yeah, 5 more. So I'm kind of excited about patch 1.30. I just watched a video with JJ Jonas. He was reviewing it. I guess he's on the dev server. But either way, hopefully the flight models, or especially the P-51 and the Tempest, are fixed. That would be amazing. Simply because it's something that can compete with the Doras, not only in speed, armament, and also, more importantly, dive. Right now, the Corsair is pretty much the only American plane that can really do it on average and somewhat compete, but you know, with a crappy turn speed, and we're gonna try to RTB here since we got 25. But anyway, as I fly back to base, we'll check how many players are left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nope. Yeah, now 4. Either way, so yeah, we're 4. Yeah, back to 1.3. Flight models: Tempest, P-51. I mean, it'd be amazing the P-38 to have a correct one. I mean, I don't necessarily like the P-38. I think it's a huge target to get shot. I mean, that's one of the things that's hard about shooting down Yaks sometimes, especially if you're playing arcade, is it is a very small and nimble aircraft. Same thing with the ME-163. In historical, even in arcade, the main advantage of the aircraft is how maneuverable and how nimble and it can be. It moves all over the place and twirls and banks, and it's very nimble. It makes it very hard to get a good shot on it. I'm not saying I haven't shot one down, but that's the one strength of it. And, you know, it has 6 minutes of fuel. I don't really know if that is historically correct. It did have a very limited amount of fuel. I mean, it was meant to go to bombing altitude of the B-17s, and I believe they had about 5 minutes to engage the B-17s before they ran out of fuel, and then they had to glide back down. I've noticed that in-game, I haven't brought the 163 out into... Yep, game over. But I haven't brought the 163 out in historical because of that 6 minute fuel thing, but I do know in arcade it's 6 minutes as well. And with that, I found out the only way you can maybe extend is gaining the altitude and then cutting off your engine, total power, and then diving through the targets, getting kills, turning your engine back on at the bottom of the dive, regaining your altitude, and it works pretty well. I mean, you might get another like 2 minutes, maybe 3, depending if you're constantly climbing and diving. But hey, Hero Bomber, most ground targets destroyed, 25 ground targets out of 26 bombs. I mean, we did miss some, but we made up in AA. So, another great game with 123,000 credits. So, as always, this is the Flying Ross, and check your 6.